live on Channel 3. Welcome to our coverage of the 1997 Stampede Parade. Good morning, everyone. I'm Barb Higgins.
And I'm Darrell Jans, and what a morning for a parade. Last year, we had a big, ugly cloud sitting in the west that moved over and gave us hail. It doesn't look as though we're going to have anything but sunshine and smiling faces today, and what a crowd along 9th Avenue here.
They line the streets, and they, as usual, have been here since before 7 this morning. A lot of people come so early to get those front row seats, those highly coveted seats, but it's really amazing how many people are in high-rises all along the route. We've got people up on the roof up here beside us, and they are stretching for miles.
Everywhere, and always on the street with us to participate in all the fun for about the umpteenth year. We won't say how many exactly. We have our good friend Ron Buckshot Barge. How's it looking down there, Ron?
Well, it's exciting. As you were saying, we were looking up at those high-rises, too, and we saw people coming out in their underwear. I mean, they're anxious to get out here and see the parade. The group here has been here, most of them since about 6 o'clock this morning, getting these seats. And I think we probably have the very best place right on 9th Avenue, about 8th Street. It's a good location. Everybody on the parade is pumped by the time they get here, and it's going to be great, great fun. And I'm going to visit with some of these people before this morning's over, I hope.
Well, we hope so, too. Thanks very much, Ron. Ron Buckshot Barge, always in the crowd, and always a real crowd pleaser down there as well.
Absolutely. They've got a fabulous parade lined up again. There are some new entries, and we'll show you those once they start rolling along the parade route. But, as usual, they've got a lot of people. This year, 3,783 people in the parade. And there's 750 horses, 80 vehicles, and all kinds of floats. It'll be a good year.
And it stretches just about 4.5 kilometers. When the beginning reaches the end is just leaving the starting point. It's an amazing distance that this parade stretches at its longest. It'll be almost 5 kilometers long.
And the organizers estimate it'll take about 2 hours and 19 minutes, so we'll have to set our clocks and
Last
see
year
how long
it was 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 29 seconds, so they're going to try and outdo that this year.
They'll be cracking the whip. And, of course, we have to put on a great parade, as they do every year, but this year, we've got so many visitors from all around the world, many people here for the World Police Fire Games. The closing ceremonies don't go until this afternoon.
Right.
So a lot of people are still here for that event as well.
And some staying over for the first few days of the Stampede. And, of course, the city is already revved up and in a celebrating mood because of the World Police Fire Games, which got off to such a great start last Saturday at McMahon Stadium. And it's just been like that all week. The city is celebrating.
And you've been seeing here on your screen, well, they just cut away, but there's a mom and a little girl, and there's people lined all the way down the street. Lots of little kids here, bug-eyed, because they had the pre-parade.
Yes.
Getting people revved up a little earlier, and people are pumped to go. But before the parade starts, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back to Channel 3's coverage of the 1997 Calgary Stampede Parade. Now, you are looking at the Calgary Stampede Show Band, and we'll introduce you to them in just a moment. But I just wanted to point out, with the pace vehicle, there were Calgary police officers on Harley Davidsons, and one of the officers was squirting silly string at people in the crowd and at fellow officers. And that was pretty cute to watch. There's an officer having a lot of fun.
And here is the world champion show band, the Calgary Stampede Marching Show Band.
This band has about 130 members, and it's had an incredible year. Last year during the Stampede, if you recall, we had the World Championships in marching show bands, and this band took first prize. So let's listen to the Calgary Stampede Show Band.
And in behind the band comes their mounted color party. Very attractive. And then the world-famous RCMP musical ride, which has been in town for an entire week now.
There are 32 riders in this color party. All have had at least 2 years police experience, and this musical ride is now based at the RCMP facilities in Rockcliffe, Ontario.
And they were a big hit on Canada Day at Fort Calgary, where they put on 2 performances and will perform again their full musical ride tonight at Spruce Meadows. The stallions are registered thoroughbreds. The broodmares are Park Thoroughbred blended by Black Hanoverian stock.
And are they getting an incredible
Wow.
round of applause as they walk by the crowd. Coming in behind the musical ride is our parade marshal. There he is, holding up his black hat so we can't see him. What a face.
Balance.
78 years old, and he's, of course, in town for the shooting of the movie Ebenezer.
Wouldn't he make a great Scrooge?
Oh, he is
Can't
just,
wait to see that one.
what a fabulous-looking guy. And, of course, everybody knows him. He's done 125 feature films, but everybody remembers him best when he won his Oscar.
Right.
Dropped down, what was that, 3 years ago?
Yes,
so
he
he
was
was
75 then,
70-something
right.
and did the one-arm push-ups and astonished everyone on
yeah.
stage.
Real character. And, of course, most of us who are past a certain age remember him as a bad guy in the movies. He was always playing but the lovable bad guy. And he is a huge hit as well.
You bet.
Wow.
You know, I understand he's also, as well as being an incredible actor, he's also an accomplished poet and painter.
Yes, a very, very talented man.
For his poetry, he's published 5 books. His latest is coming out this fall.
And there's the mayor and his family, Al Dewar, in his 3rd term as mayor of Calgary, and won the last election with the biggest majority any mayor has ever received in this city.
And no doubt he's been extremely busy with the World Police Fire Games going on and hosting everyone in our city. We've got people from all over the world here, and there's Mayor Al Dewar enjoying the crowd here for this parade morning.
And right in behind the mayor's family is the Derwent Valley Concert Band from New Norfolk, Tasmania in Australia. Their first time ever over here.
They're only 4 years old, but they've had an incredible history already. They've traveled quite extensively, and they usually make about 30 performances per year. So let's listen to the Derwent Valley Concert Band.
And as they march off to the east, we have the Stampede Queen and Princesses for this year. The Queen is Holly Cartwright, 21 years old, an expert horsewoman and a pilot, a licensed pilot.
Atta girl. That's one way to round up the horses. Joining her is Princess Tina Menard. She's 22 years old and in her 2nd year. She's a business student at Mount Royal College, and she pays her college expenses by buying and selling horses.
She's a horse trader, that girl.
That's right. Atta girl.
And then come the Stampede directors, who are here to have a good time. These people work awfully hard up to this point. Now they can party.
And, of course, they represent about the 3,000 volunteers who help put on the Calgary Stampede, and everybody's in good spirits this morning.
Oh,
you know
yes.
what? I mean, we've always had a good crowd, but I'd have to say I feel a little more, everybody's pumped up a little more than usual
I think there is something
today.
special brought on by the World Police Fire Games.
Sure.
What you just saw was the Nakaoi Ranch Foundation wagon, and there's a good shot of the crowd.
And we're going to take a break. You're watching Channel 3's coverage of
Department and Calgary Police Services. Each of those services has a group of marchers in this particular segment, and it is a very, very impressive looking group. And right in behind them, you may already begin to hear it, is a masked pipe band of pipers and drummers from all over the place that got together for these games and are doing this parade instead of just the Calgary Police Pipe Band. They have this year members from other parts of the world as well.
That's right. There's Canada, the United States, and other countries that took part in the games. And if you're not down at the parade grounds, you'll be able to see this masked pipe band at various locations throughout Stampede, so don't worry. I'm sure you'll be able to see them somewhere along the line over the next 10 days. 125
That's probably
pipes
the biggest
and
pipe-
25 drums.
Biggest pipe band Calgary has ever seen. Let's listen. Wow, you see the drums of all of the different departments involved in that band. It's
Doesn't that
amazing.
sound great to have that many pipes and
The
drums
more pipes,
together?
the better.
Oh,
Everybody
it's
always
great.
says the more pipes, the worse. But
And here is Calgary's police chief, along with the head of the fire unit, Jack Ross.
right,
And they're
And
riding
also,
along in the parade.
the area commissioner for the RCMP.
And coming in behind them, we have,
Indianapolis is going to
Indianapolis.
host these games in 2001. They, of course, are held every second year. And as we have mentioned many times in the past week, they are the second biggest sporting event in the world next to the Summer Olympics. And Indianapolis is the host city in 2001. So they have a large delegation here for these games.
Okay, we're going to jump ahead here. There's a drill team doing this. We ran the story on the news the other night about these guys. It's about psyching out your opponent.
Yes.
It's really
The New
quite-
Zealanders.
Yeah. So they're psyching. There they are. They're psyching out the crowd, I guess.
Trust the New Zealanders to get into the show.
They don't look like they're scaring too many people, though.
I don't think so.
No,
They're
not
making
at
them
all.
even happier than they already were.
That's right. Now, in behind this psych-out squad, how about we call them that, comes the antique fire trucks and fire wagons. And in this group includes a 1907 Robinson hose wagon from Portland, Oregon, a 1926 American LaFrance hose tender, and a 1954 Bickle pumper.
Something almost new compared to that. That is the
Look at
1907 wagon. What a beautiful,
In fabulous
beautiful
shape.
conveyance that is. And of course, firefighters as big a part of the World Police Fire Games as are the police. Remember when sirens sounded like that? Now they make so many different sounds.
That's right. But you know what I love is the fact that they're putting the fire trucks back to red.
Yes, they are, and that's
Love
great.
that idea.
In behind them comes the Blue Squad from Argentina, riding Hanoverian horses from the Argentine and some of Calgary's police service mounted unit. And this is a world-famous unit, this Argentine drill team.
Well, the Blue Squad has had incredible amount of media coverage in Calgary.
Yes,
and
they have.
you know, we've seen the pictures of the horses lying on their sides and the officers doing handstands on. It's amazing what the trust level between the rider and the horse.
And
that's
this, by the way, is the first time Argentina has ever participated in any World Police Fire Games, or any team from South America for that matter. And they've just been an enormous hit here, as they are with this crowd along 9th Avenue.
And coming in behind the Blue Squad, the color party with the Calgary Police Service Mounted Patrol. And riding with the patrol, this is a great story, is a constable from Laval, Quebec. And it's 22-year-old Aileen No. And I guess it's been her lifelong dream to ride in this parade. Let's see if we can get a shot of her. Oh, she's just in between. Yeah, there she
There she is. And she is just thrilled to
Now,
be doing this.
And in behind the color party comes the Stockholm delegation. Of course, the World Police Fire Games move on to Stockholm, Sweden in 1999, and they're here to promote those games, trying to convince everybody who had a good time this year to head to Stockholm 2 years from now.
Now, they say, their mayor says he realizes it's going to be a big job, but they're going to try and outdo Calgary, but he admits that's going to be a huge job for them. The thing is, because of where they're located, he is convinced they can make it the biggest sporting event in the world by attracting 40. And now we have the Andalusian horses in traditional Spanish attire. That is, the riders are on Spanish stallions, Andalusians. The gentleman on the stallion is showing off many of the horses' classical movements. These horses are wonderfully trainable to do some absolutely marvelous things. And the tack, of course, is all very traditional in the Spanish riding society.
This now is a float from the community of Cowichan on Vancouver Island. It's a small community, only about 5,000 people, but get this. They've had a float in over 150 parades just in the past 8 years, and they've won over 75 awards, and I didn't catch it there.
Non-professionally built float in this parade. Very, very beautifully done.
Coming in behind the float, we have an entry from the Portuguese community of Calgary, and the flag bearers and most of the people there are dressed in authentic Portuguese folklore costumes. And there's the Philharmonic Band that's traveling with the Portuguese community.
Sensibly attired in their summer uniforms.
We were talking earlier about the chuck wagon races going every night during Stampede. We'll have the highlights at 9 o'clock on Channel 3, but Joe Carberry, it's just not the same.